think I'm ready.
So what went wrong? We had to deal with the prissy-ass bartenders.
Our egos took over and things were said which shouldn't have been said.
Nights like tonight make me want to just stop competing because I don't think I'm cut out for it.
And I was standing there with my tooth broke right in half.
Why do I do this? Why do I suffer through this?
$50,000, $100,000 purses at different competitions around the world.
The more the prize money went up, the less of the camaraderie.
We all want to be the best.
Well, my role is more difficult. I don't really know why it's male-dominated.
There's absolutely no toxicity.
The money went out the window.
The sponsor was not putting enough money to kind of progress the sport.
You want to play with glass, you're going to cut yourself.
Literally was up here and would touch bottom.
I just kind of have like a natural competitiveness when it comes to anything I do. And some people kind of take that as being a little cocky or a little conceited, but to me, it's just fun. If I played baseball, I wanted to be like the best guy on the team. If I was playing hockey, I wanted to be the starting goalie. If I'm at a competition, like obviously you want to win. A lot of it is just, I think it's kind of that East Coast mindset of me being from like outside of Philly. It's a big sports town, so you're always watching different kind of sports, and you see some of these people trying to be their best at their profession, and you kind of want to do the same as well. So my style of flair, I've often heard referred to as more of a European style than what a lot of Americans are with their flair. A lot of Americans are known for more of a, so to speak, TGI Friday style flair. A lot of juggling, and not even just Americans, but Americas in general, north, south, everything. They're known for those kind of standard patterns. Then a lot of the Europeans are known more for a style that incorporates interesting grips and exchanges and multiple object manipulations, a little bit more unique than what it is over here in the States. I would say I'm kind of more along the European style with some of my stuff, but I have that combined with the American Vegas kind of attitude as far as interaction, showmanship, that sort of thing.
Originally, I'm from Northeast Ohio, outside of Cleveland. Currently, I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. My favorite is just being on stage. I love putting on a show, which is weird because I'm also like, I get a little anxious. People don't believe me. I actually don't like to be the center of attention all the time, which is a career choice for me. I love being on stage. I used to do theater. My true love is theater and dancing, and that's what I used to want to do with my life. When there's a light on you and people cheering, that's the reason I do it. I don't go to win. I don't go to win a trophy or money. It's for that moment, for that 3 to 7 minutes. Love it. It's euphoric. And that's just what's great about competitions. Even if it's not like a huge move, people cheer when you hit something, and it's awesome, especially when it's to the beat. And that's also what I'm thinking about when I know the next beat's coming up. And if I'm behind, speed it up a little bit, slow it down so you can hit it to the beat. I'm usually just pretty spaced out, just in the moment.
I'm originally from the Rio Grande Valley. That is the southern point in Texas. We were at a bar one day, and there was this older man behind the bar just doing a bottle flip from side to side. And I just couldn't take my eyes off of him. So that day I went back home and I duct taped the bottle, and I just started playing around. And I just told myself, if he could do it, I could do it. And that was my first hint of Flair bartending. it's always been something about this performance aspect that really drew me into it. And then the technicality of it is what drove me insane. So like, because I was like, it's so difficult, it's so extreme. I know it takes a lot to get to that level, and that's what I love about it. To be great in Flair, it takes one thing: time and dedication. I guess that's two things: time and dedication. You have to get up and you have to throw the bottles around because they're not going to throw themselves around. You either want it or you don't. And the guys who win the competitions, the guys that are at the top of the game, they've put in that time, and that's the only formula: who's put in the most time. For me, I treat it as a sport because it keeps me active. Something about the competitiveness that I like keeps me driven. So I want to be better. I want to beat this person, that person. I want to win this trophy.
Showmanship has been a big part of bartending since day one. You go back to Jerry Thomas back in 1862.
The die-hard mixologists look up at Jerry Thomas as his professional mixologist and great bartender, but Flair bartenders hold up Jerry Thomas as well as the first original Flair bartender with the blue blazer when he was pouring, you know, hot bourbon and water back and forth between pewter mugs and going nuts. And he was the first one to do it all. He was the first one to make quality cocktails while entertaining his guests, and that's just what we've been trying to replicate today.
We've done a bit of research ourselves, and we found out that there has been quite a few Jerry Thomases around that era who were flamboyant and performing their cocktails to an audience to try and make an attraction to their bartending skills. But yeah, he was the epitome of what a Flair bartender is.
So the first time I heard about this park probably would have been my first year in Vegas. When I moved here in December 2013, I had heard some of the guys talking about this park, and then they planned a little Flair practice day or park day down here. And then we came down here, and then of course, like a new guy in town, I went to the wrong park, I think 3 times before I finally found it. It is kind of cool because, I mean, the Del Pesh brothers have been here, Alan Mays comes out along with Ken Hall has been over here. This park has history. I guess I'm a little different than a lot of people too, as far as how they practice. Because I notice a lot of guys, when they use certain music, that it's their favorite stuff. It's too fast, like BPMs for what their flair is. So I don't really use music when I practice. I just like to kind of go through what's normal for me, because that's me being in my comfortable level for each sequence or each move.
Colby's the #1 Flair bartender in the nation, so his skill level it's up there. And he's very technical. He's got the multi-object, and he's amazing on stage. I mean, he's very entertaining. I can't help but to watch the guy on stage. But for me, this competition is anybody's game. Yeah, so this is my Flair training space. Since I moved here to Las Vegas a year ago, I just turned this garage into my practice area and just padded everything up so I don't mess up the walls since I'm renting. I used to work at a speakeasy for a very long time, so I've been just doing classic cocktails, but doing Flair as a sport. But yeah, this is where I spend all my time. When I usually work 12-hour shifts, I spend 4 hours usually here practicing as much as possible. I try to just take it as lightly as I can while I don't have rules, but when the rules come, it turns into madness. I'm excited to get these rules for this bartender shakedown and make it happen. And it's a big one. It's a national qualifier for the World Cocktail Championship in 2023. That is a big opportunity to represent the United States at a big stage. And like I said, with the amount of practice that we put in, you know, what is it all for? What is it all about? This is what it's all about.
38. So, old enough to start feeling everything after all the years of hockey and bartending. Being a goalie, dropping down all the time, knees are shot, plus always having them up against the speed rails, hyperextending them. It's a win-win combo for pain. Body don't recover like it used to.
I actually did meet Colby. I met him before I moved here. I came out with some girlfriends. Long story short, he actually taught me a move that night. I was in my high heels and my little dress, and I was like, this is what I want to do. He was like, well, what do you know how to do? And I was like, nothing. I have a Flair co at home, and that night actually taught me there on the strip how to catch a bottle behind my back. It's funny, because like I met all these people, and I was just like that girl that wanted to move to Vegas and be a Flair bartender. And when I actually did it, they were like, oh, like you're actually here, you're doing it. And I was like, I'm trying to. For competitions, my practice schedule, I try to either do a little bit multiple times a week, or if I'm really busy, I'll take one day and do hours, get it set, maybe take recordings, and then throw it in when I can. I never saw cocktail. It's what everyone associates it with.
My involvement in Flair actually started in 1988 because of Tom Cruise.
I want to do what that guy's doing. He's having so much fun. Just, it's a cool thing. But yeah, I think cocktail was the first exposure for at least my time of Flair bartending to a lot of people.
All of us back in the very beginning were a little inspired by it in a way that it made Flair mainstream.
It did have an impact because every single night you worked behind a bar for about at least 10 years. Every other person, hey, Tom Cruise, you think you're Tom? I mean, so yeah, it had an impact for sure.
My first encounter with Flair was when I was watching the movie Cocktail. I found it super interesting that you can bartend, you can make cocktails and entertain people in the meantime. And I was more attracted from the entertainment part of it. And that's how I started, basically.
My name is John J.B. Bandy. I'm the bartender responsible for training Tom Cruise and Brian Brown in the movie Cocktail. I started with TGI Fridays in Greens Point, Houston. Then went to San Diego, and then here to LA, Woodland Hills, California. Working for Fridays back then, I mean, if you worked for Fridays bartending, you could work anywhere. They rolled out the red carpet for you. During the day, it was a restaurant, and the music was low. And then as the night came about, the music came up, raised the music, and became more of a, I call it a sit-down bullshit bar. There was no dance or anything like that. But it was constantly four deep, constantly. It was a four-sided bar where it was great for dating and interaction with people. And yeah, it was off the hook. It really was. It was a lot of fun. Very popular place back then. How we got the movie Cocktail was quite interesting. Yeah, it was a busy Friday night. And a couple of young girls came in, and they wanted something to drink. They wanted something fruity. And I said, I tell you what, I'll make you a drink, and if you don't like it, I'll buy it. And which I would say all the time. And they go, sure, why not? So everything went in the air and whatnot. And I set the drink down, and they enjoyed it. And one of the girls said that they worked for some VIP at Disney, and they're looking all over New York for somebody to train Tom Cruise and Brian Brown for this movie Cocktail. And I explained to them that 2 weeks prior to me meeting these girls, that I had just won this, national contest, and I was on a videotape. So they sent somebody out, they picked up the tape, they sent it to New York, and they viewed it, and I got the gig. I spent a month in New York, a month in Toronto, and a month in Jamaica training Tom Cruise and Brian Brown. Beyond my wildest dreams, really. And yeah, it was an incredible experience, Fortunately, teaching Tom Cruise and Brian Brown, they were both very ambidextrous, very coordinated. So, yeah, it was quite easy. Being that Tom Cruise was in every shot of the movie, that's why I traveled with him. So whenever he got a moment, we'd go off the set and we'd practice. And they had a little bit of a competition between Brian Brown, who would break more stuff by the end of the shoot, And we had to count stuff like, okay, he lost the shaker would roll down the bar, hit the ashtray would fall off and break. So we had to count all this stuff. So, but yeah, I think Tom Cruise won. Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
The night that I first saw the rules, I was super excited. That's always like a defining moment, what we're gonna be doing. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I started scrolling on that, I was like, what are we doing here? I was very overwhelmed. And even trying to scroll on a laptop. I'm more of like a hard copy kind of gal. But I'll be honest with you, I was like, I was a little unsure. I don't get it. Still scrolling. Qualifying blind working Flair round. What does that mean, blind working Flair? So I was very stressed out at first.
I think Lindsay's doing really well as far as wrapping her head around the rules. I think at first she was a little bit overwhelmed, as I was, because it is a lot of information. It's a lot to prepare for. She will be over later today. I'm gonna practice all day, and she'll be here after work. We have a lot to work on, both of us, and I think doing it together is really gonna help us both push each other to do well in each of our divisions, because she's gonna kill it. I really don't care where I place. I want to win, don't get me wrong. I want to win. And I'm gonna come strong, but this is about the experience. This is gonna tell me where I'm at. I did strain my shoulder a few days ago, so I had to take a day off yesterday. I was just practicing a double release move, and I think I just overstrained it a little bit, and I got some pain rushing to my neck and down to my shoulder. Been treating it with a little bit of CBD cream and just some small exercises and some ice just to kind of help it out. But it's better today, and I was able to practice a little bit more. Other than that, practice is going great. Accuracy is getting a little bit better, a little bit faster. My cocktail's gonna come together. We just gotta dive into these sponsors a little bit more and really let the spirits talk to me and inspire me and tell me what to make, because I gotta figure that out. Colby's probably in my head the #1 Flair bartender in the nation. With that being said, this is not just a Flair bartending competition. So I feel like this is leaning towards my forte, where it's a little bit more of everything. So, I mean, I'm practicing and I'm trying my ass off to get as good as I can, as ready, as seasoned as I can with my working Flair. I know that my working Flair is nowhere near as difficult as Colby's, and he's a full, well-rounded bartender too. There's a lot to go back and forth. There's gonna be accuracy, there's gonna be mixology, and then we're gonna have the blind working Flair qualifiers. But yeah, I think right now going in, he's the #1 seed, so we'll see.
With the competition coming up, I don't really like to practice with other people. Everybody has their own style, what works for them. I feel good about it. Before I go to work, I like to just kind of get like brain stimulating a little bit, or eye-hand coordination on. So I'll turn on my guitar and just kind of play some songs and rip away a little bit on some chords. Or Xbox, a bunch of different stuff I like to play around with. It's a nice little way to kind of get everything kind of firing before you go into work, so your eye-hand coordination's on and your focus is on, which is a big part of doing a lot of Flair in a small, tight space. Walking right into just complete chaos is a little mentally exhausting right off the bat. So, Fuel Bar is essentially the two-car garage on the Strip. It's definitely, it's a small venue with a big atmosphere. We've been there now since February 2015, so we're coming up on 8 years, which is awesome. But it's a really fun place. You want to try to come in and try to be in like an upbeat attitude already, because you're walking into people that have been there just having a blast, partying with the day shift like all day. So when you come in, you're already oh, you're not so-and-so, you're not so-and-so. You're right, I'm not, but my name's Colby. What's up? What can I get you? The Bartender Shakedown 2022 coming up here in West Palm Beach. It's a completely different animal than any other competition out there. And I think it scares a lot of people away just because Flair guys want to go out and just put on a Flair show. I mean, I'm a big fan of that as well. But with this one, it's a lot more drink making and using it in a working Flair style. So, for example, it's like a 5-minute round and 8 drinks that you're making. So naturally, that's gonna kind of cut back some of the Flair. But it's a fun kind of challenge to see how you can incorporate Flair while still banging out these drinks and making sure you hit everything across the board. So it's a fun challenge.
Lorenzo texted me and he goes, "How do you feel about the rules?" And I go, very overwhelmed. It's like, I don't know how to process this. And he was like, there's some parts that I'm a little confused about. And I go, can you help me? He was like, yes. So, and I like practicing with Lorenzo anyway. I've known him for a while too, so it was nice to have someone that's doing the same competition that had the free time.
Competitors cannot rearrange items on the bar's schematic prior to the start of the round, but can only add to the front bar and the back bar. Oh, so you can't even move it has to stay like this.
Can we use tape on the bottles for that?
No.
I read that somewhere.
No, not at all.
Not for anything.
Not at all. It needs to be super clear, like, not as ugly as this, but it just super clear this off.
Clean.
Nothing on top.
I mean, just have how many pages are here? I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't.
We're both going to be so much better after this. I would think that the amateurs would have, or the beginners even would have less time. I don't know.
Is that something I should ask him, or I would be in here?
Oh, right, you're doing the amateur division.
No. I think I'm doing
Advanced.
I guess I'm best known for creating the Flair bottle. I've been bartending for over 30 years, or I've been behind bars for 30 years, and I'd have got out on good behavior had there been any. And I worked at a restaurant that encouraged Flair bartending and encouraged us to flip bottles around like Tom Cruise. We started practicing with glass bottles. There was no other option. We were practicing Flair, we were practicing with glass bottles. And we would take the bottles and we would wrap duct tape or any kind of tape around the bottles so that we could practice with it. And then when it smashed, we would get as much use as we could out of it before it was just this like wet loaf of bread. It kind of just came organically because of some different things that I was involved in. I worked for Ripley's Believe It or Not, in the art department, and we worked with a polymer. It was two liquids that you'd mix together and become a hard rubber or a plastic. And I poured that liquid into some plastic soda bottles that were the same shape as a liquor bottle, and found that it started to weigh the same, and I started to balance the weight out, and I could flip the bottles around and then practice with them. And we went and created the Flair bottle. So.
Now let's practice a sequence that involves half or three-quarter full bottles. We'll actually be demonstrating with the blue curacao so you can see the liquid as it's more than half full. But I'll demonstrate it with the Flairco bottles. We'll start with a standard grip as we pull it up and catch the bottle in a reverse grip. This allows us to swing the bottle over. Okay, but it has to be a good swing out in order to keep the liquid in the bottom of the bottle.
I mean, the Flairco bottle took Flair to the next level. It made it, and it saved me a hell of a lot of time.
Taping bottles.
Because I used to have to tape every single bottle up that I practiced with, because I used to practice in my house. It made it so much easier, and it allowed you to take Flair over the top, because you could practice things there's no way you were gonna do it with glass. You weren't gonna practice those things with glass, you know, because it was just too dangerous. So having a bottle that was weighted and, you know, very similar to a glass bottle allowed you to be able to attempt things that you never would have attempted with a glass bottle.
Like going to the beach and flipping bottles.
Right, totally.
So I'm doing all these local competitions, and then one day, one of my bosses posts this page that he ripped out of a magazine that was advertising the Quest for the Best Bartender in America competition. And I said, I'm going to that. I saved up whatever I needed to save up, and I got myself to Florida. The first bottle that I took to Quest was the rubber one that I invented in my apartment. And all the guys were flipping it around, they were sharing it, it actually landed on one of the guys' heads, and they were listening, you know. Everyone embraced it so quickly. And the first year I was at Quest, there was crushed glass all over the floor. You couldn't take a step without crushed glass being everywhere. Like you were just very carefully walking through. 2 or 3 years later, not even, I think it was maybe 2 years later, the floor was clean. And J.D. Spradlin spoke on the microphone, and he said, guys, if you're gonna be practicing upstairs, please make sure you're using the Flair bottles. Please make sure you're using the Flairco Flair bottles when you're practicing. And they all of a sudden weren't allowed to use glass upstairs anymore. So I heard that, and I was probably the only one that heard it and went, oh, that's kind of cool. Because we had made an impact
My first involvement from Flair was in Orlando at Quest for the Best Bartender in the late 90s. Flair came on the scene thanks to TGI Fridays with their competition that they were doing and running. It kind of grew from there, and then the Flair capital of the world at that time, in the late 90s, was Orlando, Florida.
Come celebrate New Year's Eve tonight and every night on Pleasure Island. An entire island featuring 6 nightclubs and a variety of entertainment, from music and dancing to stage shows and comedy.
Those years at Quest were some of my favorite years in competition. You know, I did a bunch of the local competitions, which was really cool. And I mean, I won a lot of local competitions, but I got down to Florida, and I was just a little fish in a big pond when I got down there.
I think probably one of my favorite wins of all time was the 2001 Quest. It was. I think that was one of my bigger Flair wins. That was. I think that might have been the last year that Disney ran Quest. And I just loved competing. I loved doing speed rounds. That was one of my favorite things.
Lights are set, judges are ready. Let's do this. Frozen, Banana Swirl, a Red Devil, Toasted Almond, Bloody Mary, Cuba Libre, your shooter is a Pearl Harbor, and pour me a Coors Light. 3, 2, 1, go!
There were always like 3 or 4 of us that would get it like a three bedroom apartment to stay in, and we had mock bars set up all over. So the guys knew. They're like, all right, Ken's the speed round guy. And as soon as we'd be driving back, and I'd be like, all right, I got it.
I go, got what? He's like, the speed round. I'm like, you know which one it is? He goes, oh, I knew that upstairs. I got the whole round is done. I'm like, what do you mean it's done? He's like, I have every move. It's done. It's the winning time. He wasn't joking. He had it all figured out. His brain and his ability to break things down logistically and competitively and efficiently is, I've never met a bartender anywhere that can do that, or even close.
I told you he was fast.
That was the same year I met Tobin Ellis, I met Ken Hall, and that was the magical year that all these heads of state kind of got together and said, you know what, guys, I think we've got something really interesting and really cool here. And Tobin Ellis started to kind of rein everybody together. Him and Alan Mays had this vision of bringing the world of Flair bartending together, and then truly launched what would become the Flair Bartenders Association and all these organized competitions.
It was actually a sheet of paper. It was at Quest, and I think it was Ken. It was one of them said, hey, this is this guy from Syracuse that, is doing this thing to get us all organized, and that gave it legitimacy because no one knew who the hell I was. And I put a piece of paper down and said, hey, we're just gonna mail you stuff and like get connected and try to help each other, promote your competitions and whatever else. And I don't know who was first, but these 2 guys, nobody moved. These 2 guys went up, put their name on it, and everyone just filed in and filled it out. And we had about 35 guys around US and Canada, and we just started just trying to help each other out. And that's how it started. I said, you guys want this to be a sport? Well, then it needs to look like a sport. It needs to sound like a sport. NBA, FBA, Flair Bartenders Association.
And the Flair bottle was being born at the exact same time. So whether it was destiny or some kind of manifestation, I have no idea, but it all came together within those 2 years.
Take the NBA logo, don't get us sued, put a bartender in it, and I put white paper up on a mirror, and I held the bottle behind my back, and I took a Sharpie and badly traced the shape and said, use this. Put a little bow tie on the bartender, and it was this NBA-looking logo so that we could start to have the kind of brand assets you need to build a brand that was going to be globally recognized and build the sport and legitimize it in the eyes of the people we needed to, which were the sponsors, the media, and ultimately in some version of accreditation or being that little tiny logo on everything that happens, like the NBA that says, oh, that's legit. That's the big boys. That's big time. And that was the FBA.
And their motto was service first, flair second, service always, or something like that.
Service first, flair second. That was the motto of the Flair Bartenders Association.
Service first, flair second, competition always. And I was in the room when that motto was created.
But it was great to feel part of an organization, like to feel part of something. Like I got this great passion of bartending. I don't know why I love it so much, but I do. And then to have the FBA gather everyone and open up those lines of communications to be able to share those dialogues with other people.
What I remember from that day was there was all these bartenders from all around the world. There's so many different countries represented, so many different languages. I remember 2 of the bartenders couldn't communicate with each other because they were speaking different languages. And then one of them said, well, do you know how to speak Italian? And he was like, I know a little Italian. And then they started speaking in Italian to each other, which blew me away. I only know how to speak English, but to see these bartenders from Europe all speaking many different languages kind of just made the whole world smaller for me that day.
So the World Flair Association, it was to be a competition for the Flair Bartenders Association, who had the main hold on Flair bartending competitions worldwide. Some people perhaps didn't agree so much with what the FBA was doing, so the World Flair Association was started and formed. I think we've been stuck on the format of competition which we've had for the last 30-odd years, since sort of Quest style and DJI Fridays in a way, that it needs an overhaul. We're not what we were back in the early 2000s. Flair has changed and developed into a whole new beast, and I think that means it needs whole new different types of competitions, various types, from the classic to the battle style to whatever else is still yet to come.
After being at the bar for so long, all night, it's pretty nice to be able to just do something that's not part of bartending, because 12-hour shifts and training before that takes a toll on you. It's either Flair bartending work or skateboarding. my body can't take it, so it's a lot. I think the reason that there's only 4 people signed up in the pro division right now is because it's very intimidating. The rules are a lot. And anybody who's just doing Flair bartending right now, they're not looking forward to these rules, because it's not just Flair. Like I keep saying, this is not a Flair bartending competition. This is a bartending competition. So you have to be good at every single aspect. That's why I'm trying to preach about being a hybrid, being really good at accuracy, speed, flair, all of it, mixology. But I know last minute there's going to be a few people signing up. So 4 people, that doesn't mean anything right now.
So the Flair world itself is absolutely male-dominated. And nobody told me that when I was thinking about moving here. I started my Flair workshops. Somebody reached out and wanted to fly me out to do a female-only Flair class. And I'm like, absolutely, that sounds great. So I went out there to the class at this bartending school right in San Diego, and I instantly fell in love with it. And from there, that's when I started doing it regularly. So my recent class I did at the D here on Fremont Street. This class was probably my biggest yet. I had 13 register. I start every class the same way. Now I pretty much have the same outline I've been using. It has had a success rate for me.
So I've taken the class multiple times, and it is all about practice. Like, she's been practicing since day 1 in my front yard. I would like make us lunch. She's out there just trying to teach herself.
So I always start off with fundamentals. So when I say that, I mean how to hold it in, how to throw it in front of you, how to throw it side by side. Like, this is something you can use with your arm and do it. You can move with it and make it pretty. And so it's not a bad thing if you move your arm with it, because you can do this here, vertically, horizontally. You can move with it, you can lean with it, rock with it, whatever that guy said in that song. So we go up and down, double and down, right? Up and down. You see how I'm barely doing anything. These are light guys, they don't need much momentum. So just focus, yeah, exactly. Focus on the control, focus on your hand shape, and just, the main thing with this is having control. Don't be afraid of good. That's, hey, it didn't hit the ground, that's step 1. All right, guys, if you wanna pop back up, we'll do the next portion. We're gonna go for about 45 more minutes. I wanna get through the rest of these 10 fundamentals, and then we'll go on our break.
Learning Flair is just all about practicing Flair. So if you're gonna take a 6-hour class, you're not going to be sitting like taking notes. You're going to be practicing all day. I think Lindsay is a great Flair bartender herself. You can see that she really put the practice into her Flair, and being a woman Flair bartender is very empowering and very encouraging to other women as well.
My name is Robin Clausen. I'm an entertainment Flair bartender. I'm here to show you that the girls can do what the guys can do, and even better.
Robin Clausen is from Vegas, but she's the only female in the competition, which could be an advantage.
So I have some certain things that I can do that they can't do. Then again, they have a lot of things that they can do that I can't do because they are top bartenders, and for me to actually be at least one or two of them would be huge to me. As a message to them, don't be afraid to get beat by a girl. So being one of the only female in this male-dominated sport, there's good things and there's definitely bad things. So it would literally be a couple of us girls against 100, 150 guys. So we had the same rules, we had the same judges, we had the same everything as guys did. Did we get looked up a little bit more for it? For the majority, yes, we did, because here we are doing the same moves as guys did. The guys that were very intimidated by us. But then we had people that were like, holy crap, there's a girl that can do what a guy can do. That's amazing. Unfortunately for the guys, there's a sea of men that can do it. There's only about a handful of girls that can do it. And a good majority of the girls that were out there that can do it, pretty damn good looking, I'm not gonna lie. There's a sea of guys out there that are going, well, I can bartend, he can bartend, he can bartend. What else can I do that can make me stand out? I can Flair. So that's what the guys are doing.
I don't really know why it's male-dominated. I love to see females on stage. We interviewed Olia the other day on Cocktail Network Live's One Drink With, and she was talking about all these amazing female Japanese bartenders that I have never seen.
A lot of girls are really scared to do really hard moves because, what if they hit their face and, what if they mess up their nails? So I really feel like that's why girls aren't doing like the really hard stuff the guys are doing. So
there's no rule. There's no rule saying women can't do it. There's no men telling us that we can't do it. I've never had any of my colleagues, coworkers, friends tell me, well, I could teach you this move, but I don't think you can do it.
I definitely wasn't taken seriously at the beginning. Even just being a Flair bartender in general, whether you're male or female, sometimes you're just not taken seriously as a bartender. But being a female, people, if they don't know who you are, of course, having a name for myself helped, but people don't know who you are and they just see you as a girl. They don't think you can do it, or I don't know. I think that's just part of being a woman in general sometimes.
I think Flair bartending is definitely a boys' thing. It's like this, I don't know, it always has. I'm not saying that it always has to be, but, just how girls are more prone to wanting to paint their nails, boys are not so much, So guys are more into that kind of energy, arrogant kind of pump your chest kind of thing. It probably doesn't attract to so many females.
So in the Flair bartending community here in Vegas, around the world, there's absolutely male toxicity.
Being a woman in any sport isn't easy because you have to try a little bit harder and work a little bit harder in order to show that you can be one of the guys or better than. I had to start kicking some ass in competitions.
I don't think any of the men in the Flair world that I've met has the intention of being toxic. I don't think they realize it, whether it's at work or at a competition, practicing, anything. That being said, it's constant.
There was a lot of times where I was definitely excluded. I mean, guys' nights, trips, they'd have their own little secret powwows, and because I was a girl, I definitely wasn't included. And that kind of sucked because they were the only people I knew, being one of the only females, I didn't really have any other friends except for the guys. So when I was excluded, that was it.
Women are judged on how we handle things. I don't think the other guys are crying in their interviews. It's one of those things that you have to maintain this front. You have to have the thick skin. Again, I don't feel like I've been targeted intentionally because of my long blonde hair, because of my femininity, or the fact that I'm a woman. I think it's just one of those things that it's so normalized to treat women differently. If I get angry at work, or if I get flustered or annoyed, anything, like, okay, girl, is it your time of the month? It's like one of those things, and now I'm like, haha, what, are you keeping track? Like, I can brush it off, you can laugh it off, absolutely.
You're just not taken seriously. So I think maybe that's one of the reasons why I did take it so seriously at the beginning, to be taken seriously, and say, no, I do have something to prove. We need more girls. We need more female representation. And the more girls that show that representation, that means more girls are gonna do it. Like, it just thinks that females don't think they can do it, or just think that because they're pretty, that they don't need to do it. Like, it's fun. Like, and it's fun to compete. Like, why wouldn't you want to do it?
Today, we're on day 2 of my Flair class. It's only 2 days. So far, everyone's doing great. Especially, I think yesterday was a little overwhelming. And then today I did single bottle sequences. I have like one small intro, and then we did 3 different variations of ways they can end it. And it's all stuff that they've already learned. It's those fundamentals, everything coming into play. I think they're having a lot of fun today with actually doing real life sequences. I can see how excited they're getting, like, oh my God, like I can actually do that. I'm like, yeah, you gotta stop overthinking it and just, and just do it. Hold that bitch. Does anyone get offended by swearsies?
Oh, it's like, I prefer it, actually.
Okay, cool.
I call it conversation.
Preferred. All right.
Yeah.
My girl. I love the way that I run the class. I think I do it in a really good way that helps them in the moment, and is also gonna help them on their own when I'm not there. So we do a girls' night out. When I like to do that for many reasons. We're all so close by the end of day 2. And also I need them to see Flair out in the wild. When we went to Field Bar, I told them before, I go, you guys are gonna meet Colby tonight, and I go, the stuff this guy can do behind that little bar, you guys are in for a treat.
Oh, it's wet.
I'm a decent Flair bartender. I'm like, but these guys have been doing it 10, 15, 20 plus years, and I want them to see the skill.
This tin is so wet and slippery. I know, I'm not used to it, it's been a while.
Every time I go there, I'm just like, I hate you. I quit Flair. And this is the day I quit. So I like them to see the skill levels, what you can be.
Forward this way where it comes around here, like you can do it that way, but then instead of just catching it, you can smack it and grab it, or you can flick it around your head here and try to grab it there. That's a hard one though, because you can only see it at the last second when it's here.
Yeah. First of all, it was in heels. I never done a Flair bartending heels before. That was fun. I think the girls love seeing me go back with him, because I'm hyping him up. I'm like, wait till you see this guy. Then see me hop back there with him, and we did the juggle thing, and that was a lot of fun.
And then from Orlando, a big group of bartenders moved to Las Vegas. Major bartenders at the time, Ken Hall, Alan Mays.
I moved out here March 6th of 1997, and we opened the Voodoo Lounge May 23rd. Voodoo was the spot to be. I mean, there was a line an hour, 2 hours long to get into the place. It was on the 51st floor of the Rio Hotel. It had everything going for it, and to go up there, and now you've got the view, You've got the, the Voodoo Lounge cocktail waitresses, and then you've got the, the Flair Bartenders, which was brand new to Las Vegas. I mean, no one had really seen Flair at that level in Las Vegas. So, the entertainment capital of the world, what a better place to be than on top of it, So Voodoo was awesome.
The only place to play in Las Vegas, the Rio.
I'll never forget the first time I went up the elevator and turned the corner down the black-lit, painted hallway. I turn the corner, and I see Steve Busher, Todd Cano, Alan Mays, Ken Hall, Eric Captain, Boogie Captain, Granadine Holbert, and Pinky, Glenn Cohen, all back there throwing bottles at full speed, packed room, band's playing, room is bumping. I stood there probably 20 minutes and just watched. I had goosebumps for 20 minutes straight, just like, this is it. This is the moment in time, and this is the apex of what this can be.
And they brought Flair to Vegas, and then Vegas just blew up because, entertainment capital of the world. So they just started hiring bartenders and creating more Flair bars.
Editing is good.
And that was it. I was sold on Vegas.
I remember when I first started working Carnival, and I think it was like a bottle of tequila or something, and I just went like this, and it hit the edge of the bar, broke the bottom of the bottle, and tequila just went all over everybody, and I was like, oh. And I just grabbed limes and like, here's tequila for everybody, and they're like, yeah! I'm like, oh my God. And I was like, I broke a bottle, and they're like, just one? I'm like, yeah, but you're not trying hard enough. I'm like, I love this job, it's so great.
When you were working at Carnival Corey, it was like, you were at the bar, and then as soon as you walk in, there's people taking their phones, the cameras at that moment and phones, and they will look at every single detail of what you're doing. So how good you work, how nice you are to people, what move did you do, where do you place your shakers, how do you set up your bar, everything. They're looking at every single detail because you are the world champion, so people want to learn from you. And that is a beautiful thing.
And then from that, you had all these bartenders there, and then they started doing competitions and Legends. When Ken did Legends in Vegas, it just changed the game.
Legends of Bartending 4 held once again at Club Rio All Suites Casino here in the entertainment capital of the world. Where are we? Say it with me. Las Vegas. How do we say it? It's Vegas, baby!
If Voodoo was the mecca of Flair bartending, why not hold the mecca of Flair bartending competitions? Legends of Bartending probably became the biggest, most prestigious, I think, Flair bartending competition in the world. The first year of Legends, there were probably, 200 people in attendance for the finals. It was at the Rio, in Club Rio. Well, the next year, about an hour before the event, there was a line stretching through the entire Rio of people to get in, and we were like, "Whoa, this has reached a new level," And that was only year 2. We ran it for 12 years.
There was Roadhouse, and then next to that there was Legends, 2 of the most iconic competitions that, again, most Flair bartenders wanted to win.
I remember the lights and almost like going to Madison Square Garden and watch a boxing match. The lights would be focused on that stage, and the roar of the crowd of the people as the different contestants came into work the bar. It really was electric.
So the thing with Legends, which I loved, was the sheer scale, and it really put Flair into a kind of sport.
Welcome to Legends. You guys ready for a show? Somebody say yeah!
It was an invitation only, first of all, so just to be invited was a huge honor.
I remember I would send out invitations in January, and I remember some of the best Flair bartenders in the world were nervous whether or not they were going to get an invitation to Legends. I think that really created, an aura to the event that really set it apart from other events.
Legends was Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Legend is just one of those things that the day that they tell you that the rules come out, like you're just refresh. And when it comes out, you just get those butterflies on your stomach that, you know, it's like, okay, cool.
You'll be competing against people from Japan, people against Russia, from the UK.
There was the thumping music, the light show, all that was going on stage. It's just the excitement of it. Everybody was thrilled to see this stuff and watch it unfold. You know, people are blowing fire, which they probably shouldn't have been doing.
There was hundreds, if not thousands of people in the audience just to watch the Delpeshes.
My name is Christian Delpech. I'm originally from Buenos Aires, Argentina.
I'm Rodrigo Delpech. I'm from Argentina.
I've won Legends 4 times in a row.
I won Legends 4 times, not in a row. The first time I beat my brother was in Vegas. It felt great, not because he was my brother, it's because he was the man to beat. For me, Legends, favorite competition. Because when I started competing, all I did was Flair. I barely worked behind the bar, so Legends was an overall bartending competition. Everybody looked at me like, oh, he can flip bottles, but he cannot pour. He doesn't work behind the bar. So for me, it was a challenge to place high in that competition. I always liked the preparation for Legends. I would go and practice. I got to the point that I was practicing 16 hours a day for like my first few Legends, and for like 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks. Back in the day, we used to say, okay, if you can do it as soon as you wake up, that's when you got the move ready. So we will wake up, and the first thing we would do is just grab 4 bottles and do like a 10 throw, and then if we got it right, we're like, we got this. You know, it's good to go on stage.
For Legends, I would take 3 weeks off work and just practice every day, like 8 hours a day. Legends of Bartending was the most complete competition. Pour test, accuracy, speed, working Flair, and then exhibition Flair. For me, there was one thing and one thing only, is going into the stage and just do what I just did in my practice room. You need to have a winner mentality, and you need to see yourself winning before you actually win. So it takes a lot of determination, a lot of sacrifice, and you need motivation as well, and discipline. Discipline to go and train every single day. Discipline to read the rules and do what the rule says, not what you want. It was an amazing feeling walking into people screaming, lights, TV. After winning Legends, what goes through our mind, or to my mind at least, is obviously satisfaction. You made it, you accomplished your goal.
It was quite a spectacle to watch on a big stage, big sponsors, super professional. I mean, Ken Hall, his level of organizational skill was off the charts.
It took months, you know, and months of work to put together an event like Legends. The first Legends rules were like each round was 1 page. By the time Legends was done being run, you know, 12 years later, like every round had 3 or 4 pages of rules.
If you didn't have the right horsepower, if you didn't have the right brand of horsepower, if you didn't have enough liquor in your bottles, if you had too much liquor in your bottles, I mean, it was like intense.
I would fly into Vegas, go into the hotel, spend 3 or 4 days in the hotel, get back in the cab, go back to the airport, and never once see the light of day.
It's like a love-hate relationship, because you love it, because you just, the whole process of the competition, the training that goes behind it. But then you hate it because there's so much training that goes behind it.
And they'd last 4 or 5 hours, these events. And the electricity in those places was incredible.
Even backstage when it wasn't open to the public and you're just doing all the qualification rounds, it was so confusing to me how they kept it all together. There were so many moving parts.
The Legend of Bartending is 3 intense days, because you have a meet and greet, and the following day is a whole day qualification rounds, and the next day you sleep 4 or 5 hours, get up, training, trying to get everything going in your body, your muscles, and then you start the final day, and it's an all-day process as well. Here I am, like a 21-year-old kid, coming from, you know, the 1,600 people village, if you want to call it, because I don't even call it like a city where I'm come from. Christian step away from legend, and you're supposed to kind of pass the torch to Rodrigo. But then here come the kid that comes from Italy. Nobody kind of knew anything about it, and the venue's packed. There is a sea of people watching you, and everybody's ecstatic, is happy, is having a great time. They're cheering you. It's amazing. It's either I'm gonna kill it or I'm shitting the bed. There is no gray area. And I really like owned the stage that night, and I was able to win the Legend of Bartending. So to me, it was like, you know, Christian, and then Rodrigo, and then I came over and I was able to win it, and that was, you know, very special. And to this day, pretty much is my definitely the highest memory that I have on a competition. People that like takes legends seriously and practice, they can go behind any bar and you're just gonna crush it because you're just a machine. It's not hard to get on top. It's harder to stay on top, you know what I mean? And you feel that, like, you know, no matter what, like, because when I won, I was not expecting to win. Now, I went back the year after, I'm like, all right, cool, if I hit it again, I can win, you know, like, I know I got this, and now I'm convinced. And it makes it way harder, but it's part of the game, you know, it's an amazing, like, roller coaster.
I actually ran 5 events, created and ran 5 events. Legends of Bartending was probably the biggest event that I ran. Ran the Quest for the Best Bartender competition, the Blue Blazer, which was a Flair and mixology competition, Nations Flair Challenge, then Best in the West Bartender competition. For probably about 12 years, I ran all those events.
It had prize money that started to rival some of the other sort of fringe extreme sports.
$50,000, $100,000 purses at different competitions around the world. That was 2005, 2006 in there when the level of difficulty was up there and the big money. And there was guys, as far as I understand, there was bartenders traveling the world, specifically as Flair bartenders, and they were making 6 figures a year just traveling around from competition to competition.
As the money got bigger and the stakes got higher and the jobs and the TV, it changed quite a bit.
And then as the level of difficulty started coming in, it started taking Flair into a different direction.
The more the prize money went up, the less of the camaraderie. It became more about winning money and placing well and making sure my name went good, opposed to just going there and having fun.
When we were competing in the younger days, like, you won, you lost, it was all cool, sportsmanship. There was another day, you went out and had beers and burgers and you laughed about it, you had a good time. At the time I left, it's like guys rushing the judges stage and just arguing for 45 minutes over, well, my move is more difficult because I make it look easy and that's difficult.
I think at some point everybody is judged unfairly.
In my opinion, that didn't hurt me as much as it hurt him, because his difficulty was always like insane, but he would do things that judges would not even understand. So they really don't know how difficult it is.
As competitors, we always questioned, oh, I should have come in this position, or I think this person should have won that. And, you know, egos took over and things were said which shouldn't have been said or whatever.
We had to deal with the prissy-ass bartenders that we all are.
I want to be the best.
So what went wrong in the decline of Flair bartending? You can't wrap it up in one thing. There's so many different things. Some of the drink list for the competition was just throw all the sponsors in a glass, mix it with some juice, and here you go.
Mixology started to show up. At the end of the day, the mixologists were creating things that you could sell. You can sell a cocktail. You can't sell Flair behind the bar. And the fact that the Flair guys weren't spending a whole lot of time learning how to craft a proper cocktail. And I dare to say, and I hope I don't sound too proud to say, but I think one of the downfalls of Flair bartending was the Flair bottle. The Flair bottle made the entry level to Flair bartending so easy, and it kind of took the focus off of when we should have been going towards mixology. We were like, yeah, but look at this.
Flair was getting, it was going bigger and bigger and bigger. And And we were, you know, we were ready to take it to the next level. And in 2008, we had, I want to say we had close to $300,000 in sponsorship to run 6 major events. In 2009, we had $75,000 total. We ran 1 event.
I know for me, the beginning of 2008, that was probably one of our most successful years for sponsorship-wise, but halfway through that year was the worst where everything dropped off. So that was probably the last good year of good prize money.
That's when it went like literally was up here to and would touch bottom, like within a few months.
2008 was a tumultuous year for the economy. The housing market collapse created one financial crisis after another, and it often seemed as if the news could only get worse.
The money went out the window.
There are fears the sell-off will continue on Wall Street.
Soaring gas prices, falling home prices, and rising unemployment.
The economy crashed and sponsorships were gone.
This could be the most serious recession in decades. And that means life, as most Americans know it, is about to change, in some cases dramatically.
The recession came, and then the sponsor was not putting enough money to kind of progress the sport. If I gotta take off work, if I gotta practice, I gotta pay my travels, hotel, taxi, food, and everything. If I win, I almost break even. It's not worth it.
You know, we went from having this much sponsorship money to having this much sponsorship money, and the major events and the Flair events, they took money to run, and you know, you couldn't lure in competitors to compete just because they loved the sport anymore. You know, it was beyond that at that point.
Once you lose the sponsors, then the organizers don't want to do it for free. Bartenders don't want to practice and put their time into it if they're not going to get rewarded for it. Then competition stop. Therefore, the level of people practicing for competition obviously slows down and it falls.
In 2008, we ran, my partner and I, Jim Allison in the FBA, we ran 6 events just ourselves. In 2009, we ran 1.
So fortunately or unfortunately, we stepped up and we put out a lot of money those next few years to keep it rolling on the Vegas stages and Florida and everywhere else. And, you know, we hung in there with it, and I'm really glad we did.
The Flair Bartenders Association kind of went away as well. If you don't have the competitions, there's really, what do you have left to talk about?
It was sad to see the FBA kind of lose interest, because the way that we saw it back then was the WFA will kind of compete with the FBA and will grow together and build the Flair world together.
With the recession, money went down, but in Europe, it didn't. You know, in Europe, it kept on going for like another 4 or 5 years.
Flair in Europe was growing a lot. It was going down a little bit in the States. And the WFA kind of took over for the leading association worldwide.
When I came up, like Vegas or America in general, that was it. That was Flair. There was nothing else around it. Now, we start shifting that a little bit in Asia, but then was very strong in Europe. Like Europe came up swinging. Now, all the big players are based in Europe.
My name is Christoph, and I am from Belgium originally. Europe is like a machine, you know. We got like a lot of good guys that don't even work and just practice like 5 hours a day. I was just practicing really hard for the first 3 years before knowing how to make a mojito. Yeah, it's a machine over there, you know. It's fun, good fun, you know.
When we were starting, we first did it, only Tom Cruise, that was the only frame of reference the public had. Now, everybody in every town and every city in the world has seen or knows someone personally who's a bartender who can flip some bottles. It's not new, it doesn't have a novelty effect, so there's a little less interest in it, which is hard to get back. I think it's pretty clear that it peaked.
Flair used to be a lot bigger years ago when there was competitions like Quest, Legends, Nations going on. Unfortunately, I never got to do those. When I was coming into the Flair world, those were kind of just ending out some of their last few years, and I wasn't really aware of competitions at the time. And as I was getting into it, I started learning and I heard about them, but it was too late. Legends, Nations, Quest, those were always 3 that I wanted to do after hearing about them. But of course, I didn't hear about them until after they were all done. So that was awesome. But I've competed all around the world. Been over to Roadhouse for the grand finals in London, England. Been to Moscow, Russia, Tokyo, Japan. Been down to Okinawa, Japan as well. Over to China in Chengdu. Been down to Manizales, Colombia. Bucharest, Romania. Budapest, Hungary. The list just kind of keeps going, and it's awesome because everywhere is completely different than the next. Lorenzo is definitely going to be a competitor to focus on for the Bartender Shakedown. He's a well-established bartender. He has the flair side of it, he has the craft side of it, and he has the experience with both, the smoothness with both as well. So he's going to be a strong competition, and I can easily see him, being taking the title as well, or maybe, I'll be right behind, but he's going to be up there.
For me, I treat it as a sport because it keeps me active. Something about the competitiveness that I like keeps me driven. So I want to be better. I want to beat this person, that person. I want to win this trophy. So last week, it's going to be full run-throughs of just finals because something could go wrong. I don't want to miss an ingredient. I don't want to overpour something. I want to make sure that I'm grabbing with my right and grabbing with my left when I need to. So right now it's very fine-tuning, but I feel prepared. I feel ready. I feel good. I don't feel super stressed. Emphasis on the super, because it is a lot. But it's such an amazing journey that it is to prepare for a competition like that. It takes a lot out of a bartender, and I don't think a lot of people have ever really seen the behind the scenes of what we do to prepare for these things. I hope to inspire other bartenders to dive into this journey of really pushing yourself to be a lot better, and because it's incredible. It's quite the journey.
I'm very grateful. Lorenzo's been a huge help for me. The rules, the practice space. This will be the first time my mom has been able to come out to see me compete. She's coming down, and couldn't think of a better competition for her to come see. But that's what I'm most excited for, just honestly to have my mom there, because I've been doing this for almost 6 years and competing all over the country and the world, and she's never seen me compete, so I'm super pumped. It makes me a little bit nervous because, I know regardless, she's going to be so excited and so proud, but I just want to show her, what I've been doing out here is, paying off, and I also just want to ensure her, regardless of how the round goes, that I'm having fun, I'm having a good time, and it makes me super excited more than anything. I don't know, it's really special. It's going to be a special night for me. I was feeling good about the competition. I still feel good. I just I don't know. This practice didn't go as smooth as I had hoped, but back in my theater days, we used to say a bad dress rehearsal means a great performance, so I'm gonna chalk it up to that.
I think I'm ready. I always take my Flair bottles with me everywhere I go. I like the energy at Flair competitions and the camaraderie. It's really cool to see all the other guys and see what they're working on. And every time I go and compete, I always learn something. And then it's the pressure. I always put myself in high-stress situations, but something about that is that I really thrive on. I find my peace, and I really feel like myself. And in those 5 minutes on stage, that's my time. You know what I mean? That's what I've been working for.
In order for me to pack, I have to have everything written down and see it. And same with my unpacking process. I just need to have everything organized, spread out. I didn't even remember that I bought this, but apparently I had a plan for it. I found this on Amazon because my finals concert, I plan on doing crushed ice. So I'm gonna just make my own crushed ice on stage. I heard would be cool, and it's fun. You don't know what's gonna happen in West Palm. I was thinking about this the other day. I had a competition where I won a really nice trophy and also a cash prize for best female, but I was the only female. But also I have to remind myself, like, I still earned that by being there, by being a girl, like, and I still put in all the effort. I didn't just say, screw it and do easy because I knew I was gonna win something. So it's just one of those things, like,
Usually everything survives, but today we lost one. So that was my orange cello, and that's all gone now. Everything was soaked. So my clothes were in there too. The one white shirt that I brought is now not really white anymore. So you can see the arms are all like that. So I gotta try to get some of this stuff washed. So that broken bottle, for me, like I'm just gonna throw that whole thing away probably. I'm not gonna go in there and try to dig out little shards of glass. There's no point. The sock is like $1. I'll just get a new one.
I was practicing about 4 days ago, and I went through, like, it was my day off, so I went out, I purchased everything I needed to do, and then I threw down a good solid 8 hours of practice. I was extremely exhausted, I guess, and just kind of freestyling at the end of it all. Was doing a 2-bottle to 10 movement, went up to snatch it, and the bottle came down and hit my bicep, and immediately I felt like, okay, this was not good. Dropped my tins, went inside, rinsed it off, and I could see meat. I couldn't see like flesh, but I could see meat, and it was a little bit wide open. Luckily, my roommate Zach was there, and he's just like, hey man, let's just super glue this because we don't have really time to go get stitches or anything like that, because it really didn't need stitches. It was just a wide cut. So we glued it up, and we just kind of went with that for the rest of the night. I just didn't do anything. The next day, I was able to practice a little bit, so the super glue helped. It held on, and it seems like it's healing a lot better. It's a little sore, but it's nothing I can't get past.
I've got a few scars on my hands here. I've got one here. I used to injure the backs of my heels.
Definitely have some spots where I probably should have had some stitches and just didn't.
I think on my right hand, I have stitches on every finger except my ring finger.
Black eyes.
I wasn't like these nut jobs that are putting crazy glue into their cuts so they could keep flipping. But I thought about it.
There is 2 Flair bartenders who had a competition for many years on who was having the most stitches.
Went to capture a Captain bottle with the tin and launched it directly into my ankle, and the pour spout just went right in, probably a good 2 inches, 2.5 inches, like just down through, scraping skin off, and then just ripped it right out. So I had a little chunk out of my ankle missing, which is healed now. Gruesome.
So I throw the bottle, so you had to throw it like very nice and gently. You have to cushion it here, so you know, like you had to kind of like wait for it and you know, and let it sit on your forehead. So I probably throw it like 20 feet in the air, right? And all I see this bottle, and I'm just like, I just wait for it. And next thing, like it literally hit me. And next thing I know, I think it was like almost 20 minutes later when I woke up. You know, you live and you learn. So I learned that one real quick.
One time I was practicing behind a bar at the Bikinis, and I threw Flair bottles across them. They hit me right in the face and split my eye wide open. I went in the office to cash out that night, and the manager and all the people were in there rewinding it and fast-forwarding it, watching my head go back in the bottle, hit me in the head.
I did a 3-tin move where I had to split them right in the lip. And I was so embarrassed. Luckily, there was nobody there except for my coworker.
I injured myself quite a few times. Usually it was before comps. I broke my tooth like 3-4 times. Actually, like the first time I won Roadhouse, I went on stage with a broken tooth. They were like, oh, you gotta fix it. I'm like, I never care about looks. So I was just like, no, and I'm still gonna smile and, you know, half the tooth meeting. I was like, I don't care. You know, I was just smile on purpose.
He has a tattoo that says Flair Fearless. So we were telling him Flair Toothless.
Well, I have 2 Flair bottles cling together and hit me in the face, break my glasses, gives me a black eye, and I knocked out for just a second.
I threw a bottle up behind my back, and I was gonna catch it here, and while it was in the air, I took another bottle and threw it this way to catch it in here. So it went this way, and when I went this way, this bottle got loose and hit me right in the mouth. And I was standing there with my tooth broke right in half. And I was like, oh yeah, that definitely broke my tooth.
You want to play with glass, you're going to cut yourself. You want to learn how to do these bumps, you're going to get a bruise every now and again. You're not going to hit it every time. You're going to hit the funny bone until you find the sweet spot.
I think we get used to having bumps and bruises. You get hit, you get hit, you get hit, and I think after multiple times of getting hit, you're like, okay, I give up today. But you just get used to getting hurt. That's how it is.
So last night we had the meet and greet, and it was kind of a introduction to some of the sponsors and going over the overall schedule for today and tomorrow, what to expect. It was a chance for anybody to ask any questions that they might have had as well about the competition.
For myself, one of my cocktails, the main mixer is milk, and we're only allowed to use juices. And in my mind, I didn't even think to question that, because it's cow juice.
Jordan's gonna be there to make sure you're in the right places. We're gonna have one bar on stage for the blind working Flair round and one bar separate for the mixology round, and you'll be alternating back and forth between Flair mixology.
So I got some work to do tonight. I kind of have to change my cocktail now, which kind of threw me for a loop.
My relationship with Dean is great. We started off as competitors, and then we became great drinking buddies and good friends, and now we're partners in what we do.
I'm here at Bartender Shakedown to help take what's going on stage out to the world. Hey, everybody out in the internet world, Dean Cerniels and
Rob Husted
live on Cocktail Network Live.
So those that have heard of the USBG, which is the United States Bartenders Guild, the United States Bartenders Guild is the American chapter of the IBA. The IBA is international, Tokyo, Japan, Denmark, Holland, Australia, all over the world. And the USA chapter is the USBG. Most of us are familiar, or at least heard about the USBG from like the 60 different chapters throughout the United States.
I literally just woke up. I slept well. I just stayed up late prepping everything. So I've read the rules like 12 times, but I just need coffee. I'll be fine.
I'm pretty nervous today. I'm excited to just go one step at a time, because I am a little nervous. This happens to me every competition. I get super anxious, and you know, all those little insecurities kind of start setting in for me.
Speed test was garbage. I don't like the setup. They need to let us practice running through it first, like they do every other time they do a speed test. I don't like pouring Patron bottles for it either, because it's kind of an awkward bottle to be pouring for that specific thing, especially because everybody's having trouble with either the spout leaking or something too. But I brain farted because I didn't move the tins. I should have removed them where I was thinking originally, and then I switched it in my head. So it's probably the worst round of the day for tests, which is completely opposite of how I normally am. Normally, I'm the fastest one. No spills, no deductions, nailing every pour. But I'm also running on like 2 hours of sleep because I'm burnt out for this whole comp, and I'm kind of over this comp. It's just, I miss having fun at a competition where it's just Flair, not all this stuff. This is just a little bit too much to enjoy it. That's why they struggle to get competitors, unfortunately.
I think the competition side of things, at least in the United States, definitely is way past its peak.
In my opinion, a lot of things have to change in Flair comps. Nowadays, there are competitions that they're asking you to be a producer, a DJ, you know, a bartender, influencer. So many things for you to go and compete. You gotta create a commercial. I'm like, why? You know, I'm a bartender. Why do I have to? That's your job. Your job as an organizer is to please the sponsors. You create a commercial for them, not me. You know, like, I'm paying to compete. I gotta prepare for the comp. I gotta create cocktails. Now I gotta create a commercial. Now I gotta make, and it's so many things that they're adding that I feel like they're losing the competitors. Personally, I still want to compete, but every time I see the rules of a comp, I'm like, next. All the competitors that we had a couple years ago here in the States, now most of them, they don't go to compete anymore. And for that big of an event, there was nobody watching. I felt like there were more competitors than people watching.
But everything goes in cycles, so everything comes back. It already has come back twice, and Flair didn't start when we did it in the 80s.
I think those days, as far as I know, those days, they're pretty well gone. I mean, it wasn't just the money, it was my passion that kept me going over and over, running these events. And you would have to find someone else that has that level of passion that would want to run an event, not just compete in it.
So what happened yesterday is the qualifying rounds. We had the accuracy round. We had the mixology round and the blind working Flair round. Today, those 3 rounds are all into one round. With 7 minutes, let's see the best, most complete bartender in a true working Flair environment. 3, 2, 1, go. And I swear, every time I do this, I wonder why the hell I do this. Why do I do this? Why do I suffer through this? And why not just compete and make a hell of a lot more money with a lot less stress and have more fun doing it? But then I realize what you're gonna see today in my face is once that intro music starts in the finals and the show starts and just seeing it all unwind and unfold and just all come together, it's just so rewarding.
So this competition is about bartenders with flair, to me, more than it is about bottle flipping bartenders.
Last night was really fun. I ended up qualifying in first for the advanced division, which I was super excited about. I didn't really expect that because I just wasn't sure, and how the first round, the pour accuracy speed test went, I really didn't expect that. I was super excited at first, and then it's one of those things like the imposter syndrome kind of set in, but I'm trying not to think about that and try to tell myself that I actually did do okay. I have my mom and stepdad coming all the way from Ohio and 2 of their friends to come watch. This is the first time my mom will see me do a competition live and on stage, so it's exciting for her and myself as well. So I think it'll be really fun for them and me too. I'm really excited about it. My main objective tonight is for the fun of it. It is a little bit of a game changer for me that I am in first place at the moment based off the qualifier. So I'm excited, but the anxiety, insecurities, and everything is kind of setting in right now, which is pretty typical for me, which I think is one of those things that the guys don't really have to deal with as far as being nervous about what other people think or how I look and the outfits and everything. So I'm really trying not to think about it and trying to get out of my own head, because that's what always gets me for competitions. All the emotions are heightened, so just trying to shake it off, and one step at a time. That's what I've been saying all week. One step at a time, I guess.
Friday night on the rooftop, when the work stopped and the drinks popped. Heavy fragrance in the air, people everywhere turn their heads to stare when I'm moving. I can feel I'm looking here, I'm talking 'cause I know when I'm queen unique. My life, my rules. I got a closet full of options, head full of jewels. Take a peek, I'm queen unique. I'm queen unique. I'm queen unique.
I know you get a little bit better now. One more time for that team.
My performance, I don't know. I don't feel amazing. Didn't finish my drinks on time. I've been getting a lot of compliments on like my showmanship, and I'm glad I did all that, but overall I don't think it was good. Running out of time, I'm getting judged on a glass of ice, which is really unfortunate because they gave me really good feedback on my drink, and I don't give any points for it. So I think that is really gonna hurt me. Along with the few drops that I had more. I don't know how many I had, but I know it was a few, 4 or 5. So I think if I had any chance of winning it, I think that went up, unfortunately. But I don't know. I'm really disappointed in myself. I just feel really embarrassed. Like my parents flew here with their friends because they were so excited for me, and it's on camera, it's on the live stream, and I feel super embarrassed right now. Like people keep telling me, oh, it's great, whatever, but I don't feel good. Nights like tonight make me want to just stop competing because I don't think I'm cut out for it. I don't know. This might be my last comp. Whatever.
Having like a reputation that I do in the Flair world, throwing big moves and having fun and you know, usually hitting a lot of my stuff. It definitely makes it a little nerve-wracking because I'll try to go up there and get ready to go on stage and just try to be calm and not really think about it. And some people are like, "Man, you're gonna go up and you're gonna kill it." It's like, thanks. It's awesome, but like I said, it's also a little nerve-wracking just because it is putting that added pressure on you because you're expected to perform to your standard, you know, or your normal for people. So
I needed a 2-ounce pour, a whiskey sour, a blue Long Island iced tea, a bucket martini, and you already know your 4 specialty cocktails, ladies and gentlemen. We go 3, 2, 1, go. You know the deal. In 3, 2, 1, go.
I think my strengths in the performance tonight was just being myself, honestly. I mean, like anybody that's competed against or with me or seen me or anything, I just go up there and I have fun. Like, I literally throw my personality out there, and if people like it, awesome. If not, sorry.
I feel good. I think yesterday went pretty well. I feel ready. I woke up early. I had my coffee, did my stretches, got some practice in. What drives me nuts is the anxiety and having to wait. And now I have to go second to last. So that's the only thing that's going to beat me is my own head. So if I throw my best round, you know, the rest is on them. So I'm just excited to see how it goes.
In 3, 2, 1, scream it. Let's go.
I had a shit round, dude. Fuck. Not the happiest with the performance that I had tonight. It was in the middle of the round where I was just like, okay, you gotta stay focused. But I think it's because I work in such a high level and stress environment that I was able to compose myself. Plus I practiced a lot. I was ready for this round, and it's a shame that what happened, but I did have an amazing cocktail. And I think I have a chance at possibly best cocktail. And if what I remember the rules stating is that for finals, it's 50% mixology and 50% Flair. I hope that's correct, because if that's the case, my chances of moving down are a little less likely if I have best cocktail. So we'll see. Everything's left on the table. It's out of my hands, so I can't really worry about it anymore.
Camelier, he was the man of the year, walking around with a pork pie hat, a dream in his head about a dancing cat. Man of the year, all of the masses, and all of the fastest days. Queer musketeer, riding the camel.
Tonight, after the competition, I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I heard rumor of everybody's going to like a strip club or something.
Coming in third place, winning $500 in a trophy, Mr. Lorenzo Garcia.
Nowadays, the level is so high, there's not much gap between competitors, at least in the top 3. The problem that we have is that it comes down mostly on deductions.
Taking home second place, $1,000, representing the United States in the IBA Pan American Games 2023, Mr. Colby Ashton. Winning first place, $1,500, and going to represent the IBA in the World Cocktail Championships 2023 in Italy, Mr. Rodney Youthful. So after a long 3 days of competition, everyone on stage and us getting out probably around 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, by that time, everyone's amped up or ready to celebrate, just like any good celebration for a competition. And there's very few places to go out, so we kind of go out to the places that are open. It's either Denny's here in South Florida or some adult clubs, and thank God the adult clubs have amazing food, amazing entertainment, and a good time to relax and finally do a shot that was well-deserved.
So everyone's done competing. There's no more stress. Let's have some fun for one day. We go to the beach. We just grab our plastic Flair bottles and tins and just start flipping bottles on the beach. And it's funny, as soon as we start doing this, people stop by and start filming and taking pictures like, this is amazing.
As far as my round, I'm kind of afraid to watch it. You know, I still took home Best Female, which was really great because the other girl, she was so sweet and she killed it in the amateur round. So I was really happy to earn that. Had I finished on time, the results probably would have been different. This isn't the first time that I didn't finish my drink, so I don't know. I wish I put on a better show, especially since my family and their friends came out. I'm pretty disappointed. Trying not to think about it.
Not happy with my Flair round, but I'm super ecstatic with the results. I was the most awarded bartender last night, so I'm super proud of that. And I won third place in the pro division, which is amazing. To be third place to Ivan and Colby, it's an honor.
Oh, last night, actually, I don't remember last night. I think it was a kind of dream. So it was an awesome competition. Main prize, it's I have to go on Italy on next year, represent USA. So that's why, wow, it's a new challenge for me.
The question was asked, do I feel a Russian taking a spot for an American to represent the USA is unfair? No, because we're not only representing America, which is true, but it's representing the United States Bartenders Guild.
Even if you're not from here, you're still going to be treated as somebody from here once you're here. And I think that's some of the beauty that this country kind of offers. So why not give everybody a chance to represent the country since we're giving them a chance to live in the country?
I would really love to see a future of Flair bartending that is really just the future of bartending, where mixology just becomes what everybody does, and Flair just becomes what everybody does.
I want to inspire the next generation of bartenders to be good at everything. Be good at every aspect of what you do because it matters.
Given me doing the movie Cocktail really was a life-changing experience. I had no idea that still to this day, some 30-odd years later, you know, I'm still doing an interview regarding this movie. It was such a game changer, or life changer for me, but I think it was a game changer for a lot of people, a lot of bartenders. Yeah, it's been a wonderful experience, the whole thing, and watching the new talent come through. It's been really cool.
Feels good to take second place. I mean, it's everybody says it's first loser, but I mean, I'm still going home with money, so I'm not really losing. And some hardware as well to add to the collection. Time to relax, enjoy, especially down here with the beautiful weather and the beach and everything else here. You're not gonna get that back in Vegas, so.
It's like every other competition, we all support each other, and that's what it's all about.
Like on competition days is competition. Like you're your enemy right now, you know. But tonight we'll drink together.
The way I look at Flair is like I always say and mention, like it's like a power that you have. You can turn it off and on whenever you want, whenever you need it.
Flair was a big part of my life, and you know, I'm extremely grateful for it. I was able to fulfill my dream, and you know, to me, I'm excited to see what's in the future for Flair.
As for competing, I'm definitely retired. I think it always sounds, it's like when you order too much food. It always sounds good, but when it comes, it's just like, oh, I ordered too much. That's how competing sounds for me. I watch a competition and I get like the itch for it. I'm like, oh, I want to do it. But then when I actually say I'm going to do it, and the time comes, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do it.
I don't know how long it's gonna take to get back to where it was, Flair.
If he ever gets back to where he goes.
I feel like it's gonna go back because everything
It's in
it might be 20 years, and then at some point, you know, somebody might watch a video and be like, oh, you know, can I do that? And it's just like, you know, everything comes back after a while, you know, like.
But it's true that he comes back. Eventually, he comes back. Like classic contest came back, Flair will come back. It's just a matter of time, a matter of how.
Competing, we'll see. I'm questioning now if it's worth all the stress and preparation to feel this disappointed in myself. So it's a tough decision. I think at the end of the day, I will continue to be a part of this because I would miss this world too much.
The future of Flair is fun, entertainment, excitement. This is what it's all about. It's not taking yourself too seriously. It's about providing a bonus to your bartending skill and providing entertainment to the guests that come to your bar.
The future is digital, the future is female, and the future is the past reinvented slightly at the right time in the right place.
I'll always have, you know, the spot in my heart for Flair. It gave me the things in my life that I have, and I'll always love it, and I'll always support it, and always go behind, you know, be behind it. And I mean, who knows? Maybe one day I'll run an event again. But I gotta be honest, I'm not really. I'm kind of out of that loop now.
Service first, Flair second, competition always.
Shapow.
Life is kind of like a roller coaster. Obviously, it has its ups, its downs, its high points, its low points. But no matter what, that ride's gonna happen if you're in the seat. So there's two ways you can go about it. One, you can sit there and scream and just be miserable and not enjoying yourself at all, or you can sit there, throw your hands up, and make the best of the experience, because you can only control certain parts of what's gonna happen in your life. There's still the basic ride going on. Make it a fun one.
Bartender, hit me and drown out her memory, and maybe she'll miss me. A double shot of whiskey. Bartender, hit me. She's really gone with a dust cloud dirt road, and I'm here on my own.
Wish I could remember it all.
Yeah.
Somebody should do a documentary.
Bartender, hit me and drown out her memory, and maybe she'll miss me. A double shot of whiskey. Bartender, hit me. She's really gone with a dust cloud memory and wash away this lonely with another shot of whiskey. Bartender, hit me. Bartender.